Today's episode is brought to you by Patreon. If you're interested in supporting the show, go to patreon.com/JoshuaVelas and become a $2 backer today and get early access to the new episodes. I'll be leaving a link in the description down below, but for now, on to today's episode. You're listening to the Augment Experience podcast. I'm your host, as usual, Joshua Velas. I'm a student, musician, and a gamer at heart. Join me as I sit down every week to talk about all the latest news in the technology, business, and video game world. I hope you guys enjoy. All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. My name is Joshua Velas. I'm your host as usual, and obviously welcome back to the show. It's episode 195 of the show. Before we get started, I'm going to do the house cleaning quick because, well, you guys know I like to do it around here. It only makes sense that we do it, so let's just get on with the house cleaning. I do want to say thank you guys for coming back and listening. Today's episode, it really does mean a lot to me that you guys constantly take time in your days to download these episodes, to share these episodes, to constantly keep, well, letting me know how you feel about these things because, well, you guys vote on the topics. Except this week because I decided to, take an executive decision and just do it my own special topic. I know you guys are probably wondering, like, what the heck, man? It's been a week. We haven't heard from you. Yes, I am still alive because, well, here I am recording this. But obviously at the time of this recording, Thanksgiving has already passed. So for everyone that's listening, if you had I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. And to be honest, I really hope you guys enjoyed it with your family and friends. I hope you really did. Outside of that, I want to say thank you guys for all the downloads. I really appreciate it. Hopefully we can still maybe try to hit 3,000 by the end of this year, or at least before the 3-year anniversary of the show. That's still the hope and the goal. Also, thank you to the Patreon backers for supporting the show. You guys are lovely and you guys are always well appreciated. But there's a reason I wanted to take last week off. Not only because of Thanksgiving and I wanted to focus on my time with my family, but it really gave me a lot of time to think about this one because I know that I could say that I wanted to do like a Thanksgiving special and say what I'm thankful for. But I do feel like this topic is much more impactful, much more important. And I feel like it's much more, after these past couple of days, it really sums up the essence of doing all this, which is, this is a real talk, just being honest with you guys. It's called practicing gratefulness. And I know this sounds super weird, but I'm just being honest with you guys. Like, from my experience, from what I've seen from other people and throughout my entire life so far, we're not really the most grateful people. I'm just being, like, people in general, we tend to take for granted what we have. And I know I'm not trying to say, like, everybody, isn't grateful for what they have and stuff like that. But I do feel like there's areas in our lives where we aren't so grateful for what we have been given, for what has been done for us. And we tend to be very stubborn and we tend to be very cold-hearted towards a lot of things. And especially for me, just being open and transparent. If you guys don't notice, this is not a video version because of the whole issues with the video camera. Just not even with the camera, it's more of the cam link. But the whole point is, like, after this whole experience of these past couple of days, I've been reminded time and time again why I should wake up every morning feeling grateful for what I have and not bitter, not spiteful for what I don't have. Because, yeah, I'm being honest with you guys, there's a lot of things I wish I had. I'm going to be open and honest with you guys. I wish I had a partner. I wish that I was in a relationship. I wish that I could be in the position in life where a lot of my friends are, where they're able to propose to their partners, where they're able to, eventually get married much sooner than, my case, because I don't even have anybody. I'm not even talking to anybody. I'm just single as a cucumber. If I know that's not a real saying, I'm just making this up as I go along. But to me, there's a lot of things that I could be mad at, that I could be, like, my personal beliefs. Like, there's many things that I could be mad at God for not giving me, for not allowing me to have it. But at the same time, after these past couple of days, like, whether it be Thanksgiving with my family, whether it be my ring ceremony where I received my senior ring here at school, I was reminded time and time again, while my mentor always told me, that you want, the best thing you could ever do in life is to wake up feeling grateful for what you have right now. To wake up every morning to say, thank you, God, for what you have given me so far. Yes, I may not have this, but you have given me all of this. And I'm grateful for what you have given me. And I know in time, you will continue to give me what I need. You will always meet my needs and exceed my expectations always, because that is who you are. For me, I'm just being honest. When I got my ring, I started reflecting. I was kind of crying a little bit on the inside after seeing all the messages of people congratulating me for our ring, telling me that I deserved it after so many years of hard work, so many years of sacrifice. And for me, I always tell people the ring means so much more to me than what the school gives. It tells it that it's worth, like, because the school has their own reasons for doing the ring, like what it symbolizes to the school, what it means to me. I have always told people that the senior ring meant so much more than its price tag. It meant so much more than the honor and the tradition that the school has for it. That to me, it always represents a symbol of hope that there will be better days ahead for my family. Like anybody that knows me, just being honest, like I didn't grow up in the most lavishing lifestyle. I'm not somebody that was born into wealth. I'm not a family of wealth. In terms of people wealth, yeah, I would say in terms of social equity, I think my family is very wealthy in that sense, where a lot of humility, a lot of people that genuinely care about others, people that genuinely care about their family, that believe in taking care of one another. That was something that my mother and father had always instilled in me, was to learn to be somebody that genuinely cares about others and help other people, to care about your family, to care about those that are close to you and keep them close. And to me, when I look at that ring, I look at everything that my mother and my father have sacrificed to get to this point, to get me to this point. I look at everything that my family has had to sacrifice just in general. For me, like just tying it a little bit more with like the whole thing with Thanksgiving, it's easy for me to be bitter, to be upset, to be sad at Thanksgiving, knowing that there's a lot of people that aren't there anymore. Like, I don't have a single one of my grandparents anymore, guys. Like, not on neither side of my family, I don't have a single grandparent. My dad's parents have been gone for almost 30 years now. My grandmother has been gone for 6 years now. My grandfather, this is his first, like, we're celebrating 1 year since my grandfather passed. You know, my sister has been gone since 2017, so almost like 5 years now. My brother's been gone for 5 years, my bad. My brother's gone for, there's a lot of, actually, no, my sister's been gone for 4 years, my bad, because 2017, yeah. There's a lot of reasons that I can be bitter. There's a lot of reasons that I cannot be grateful for what I have, because I have so many reasons why I shouldn't be content. There's so many reasons why I shouldn't be happy. And yet here I am, that I choose to be grateful every morning, even though things aren't playing out the best. Like, yeah, do I wish I had a better car? Do I wish that I had a better computer? Do I wish that I had more financial stability, that my job paid more? Do I wish that, that I wasn't single? Do I wish that I had my grandparents again, that I had some of my siblings back, that I had my aunts back? There's so many things that I could be bitter about. There's so many things that give me reasons to not be grateful for what I have. But yet I'm choosing to be grateful, because that's the whole point about practicing gratefulness. Is it's a choice that you have to make every single day for the rest of your life. And I feel like a lot of people don't think about it that way, because they think of it as just, it's just a one-time thing and I'm good, right? And it's like, no, it's like love. A lot, and this is some people are going to say, oh, Josh, you're about to step on some people's toes. This is controversial. That love is not a feeling. Love is a choice. You're actively choosing to love that person every single day, that you're choosing to die to yourself and choose to die for them, that you are sacrificing your wants, your desires so that their needs and their wants can be met. And their partner would do the same thing for you, that they would die to themselves to die for you. It's that sense of like, it's a constant act of service back and forth, where you're both serving each other, you're both loving on each other, you're both helping and encouraging, that you're building each other up, that you're rebuking what doesn't add up. Like, I know it sounds weird to say rebuking, but you're basically putting them in line when they're out of line. It's the same thing, guys. It's a choice. You have to practice patience. And that's a hard thing to do. I'm just being honest with you guys. It is a hard thing to do. It's not easy when, just being honest, when you've eaten 50 layers of shit, it's kind of hard to be grateful. And I know that, like, for a lot of people, they're like, yeah, he's kind of right about that. It's kind of hard when you've eaten so much shit. But I always tell people, the good days don't show up until you've eaten at least 50 layers of shit. Like, you're going to have to eat a lot of shit before things get better. That's just the reality of every situation that's pretty crap. For me, practicing gratefulness has been very challenging because, like I said, I've had many reasons throughout my life where I shouldn't be grateful, where I felt that I'm just better off being bitter, that I'm better off being cold, that I'm better off being mad, to be jealous. And it's like, no. Because where does that lead me? How does that make my life better? How does that make anything better? If you put it in that perspective, you really have to think, how does this help me at all? You know? Like, what do I gain out of this? Like, does this really make my life better just being bitter, being like upset? It doesn't. That's just the reality of it. Like, wouldn't that be so much better? Or I put it like this, wouldn't our world be so much better if people woke up every morning practicing gratefulness, just feeling grateful for what they have and understanding like, hey, I may not have this. My life is still okay. Everything is still fine. The world is not burning on fire. The world's not ending. I'm still fine. But sometimes I feel like with people is we tend to just think that, because we don't have this, I can't be grateful, or I'm not going to be grateful until I have this. And I'm telling you guys this right now. If you keep changing the goalpost, you're never really going to be happy in life. You're never really going to be content with your life, and you're never really going to be grateful ever. Because if you're constantly changing the goalpost, you're like, if I don't have this, then I'm not going to be grateful. Then what happens when you get it? Are you going to be grateful? Or are you just going to want something else and pretend that, now I need this in order to be grateful? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you have to understand that not everything is all sunshine and rainbows. You're not always going to get what you want. You're not always going to have everything work out the way that you want it to work out. And there's some people that genuinely believe that that's how their life is going to work out, that everything is going to work out exactly how they say it's going to work out. Like, I'm going to be honest from my own experiences. Like, in terms of me graduating, yes, I know I'm going to graduate, but I'm not going to tell them exactly how it's going to go down verbatim. I'm just like, I know I'm going to graduate. I just know that I'm going to graduate. I don't know when. I don't know how. If everything works out, then yeah, this is what we're looking at. But if something happens in between, hey, things happen, but we're still going to graduate. Like, you're leaving it more open-ended, and I think the way I always say it is, you're learning to receive things more open-handedly. Like, that's just how, like, from my personal beliefs that that's how I've always believed and interpreted it, is that you have to learn to be more open-handed with God, to receive everything that he has with you with open hands, and don't try to receive it closed-handed, because then you can't, it's like receiving a gift. How are you going to receive a gift with your hands closed? Wouldn't it make more sense for your hands to be wide open so that you can properly receive the gift that somebody is giving you? I know that, especially after Thanksgiving, a lot of people always talk about how with Thanksgiving, it's always that time of the year where people decide to be thankful for what they have, and then they go back to their normal ways. And it's like, the thing with practicing gratefulness is that it is something that you do every single day until the day that you die. It never stops. It never changes. You're always actively waking up to be grateful every day for what you have, acknowledging like, hey, I may not have this. I'm still grateful for what I have. I'm still grateful that I still have my family around. I'm still grateful that, if you're dating somebody, I have my partner. Or, if you have a dog, I'm grateful that I still have my dog. Like, if you have a job, hey man, I'm still grateful to have my job, because there's people that don't even have a job right now. Or if you have food in the table, you can be grateful that you even have food on the table, because there's people that don't even have something as simple as a piece of bread. Or say you have a family. You can be grateful for your family, because there's a lot of people that wish they had families. There's people that wish they could have children. There's people that you can fill in the blank, and there's somebody else that wants what you have. That's why you should be grateful and practice gratefulness every single day, because you realize that, hey man, there's somebody out there that doesn't have what I have, and I could probably want what this other person has. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be grateful for what I have right now, because this is what God has given me. God is not going to give you more. I put it like this. God always gives you what you need at the right time, because his timing is perfect. His will is perfect for your life. And that's just something that it's hard to understand, but when you understand it, it's life-changing. And I know for me, that's something I've wrestled with hard. Like, I've wrestled with it very hard. I'm being honest with you guys, that practicing gratefulness, practicing being content with my life, learning how to love the way that I'm supposed to learn how to love, or in this case, learn how to love the way that God has loved me, which is unconditionally. To love, to live by the standard of love that God has given us and laid out. For me, I felt that this conversation was important. I felt that we needed to talk about this, because I don't want what happens at the Thanksgiving dinner table, that we say prayers, that we enjoy food with one another, that we treat that as just a thing that happens once a year. I want that to be something that happens every single day of your life going forward. I want that to be something that you clearly are marked by, and it's something that people will notice. That's like, hey, this man has been through so much shit in his life, and yet he is grateful for every single thing that he has right now. Even though there's so many things that he wishes he had, he is still grateful for what he has. And you can fill in the blank for yourself. Fill in the blank for yourself. What are you grateful for? And what bothers you? Like, what's stopping you from not being grateful for what you have? Like, think about that. Like, put that in your own perspective. Like, what is stopping you from being grateful for what you have right now? I want you to ask yourself that question. To me, like, yeah, I wish I had a partner. I'm still grateful that I'm here at school, that I'm able to get an education. I'm still grateful that I got my senior ring. I'm still grateful that I have a family that loves me, that I have siblings that care about me, that I'm still grateful that, I have all the things that I've been blessed with. I'm still grateful that I have friends that care about me. I'm still grateful that I even have a car. I'm still grateful that I can have food on the table every single day. I'm grateful that I'm able to go work out whenever I want. I'm still grateful that I can read a book, because there's so many people that can't even get a book. Guys, there's so many reasons that we should be grateful. Even as simple as, like, I am grateful that I'm even able to wake up. That's something we don't think about, but that's so important in the grand scheme of things. When you think about it, is like, are you even grateful that you even woke up today? It's something that you don't even deserve. That you have no control over it. And yet you were given another day of life and somebody else wasn't. You get what I'm saying, guys? This is something that I want us to really think about and think critically about. What are we grateful for? And if we're not grateful, what's stopping us from being grateful for what we have? What are we doing that's stopping us from saying, hey man, I want to be somebody that wakes up every day and that is grateful for what I have in my life? And what's stopping me? Like, you have to really assess this, because it's different with all of us. Like, all of us have different reasons that stopping us from being grateful. But you really have to think about it. And I want you to think about it. But that's why I took a little bit of time, especially even after all these experiences. Because like I said, my parents drove out here. My parents bought a motel. My parents paid for like the meal and everything. My parents dropped $1,500 on my ring. I have many reasons to be grateful. I have many reasons to continue to pursue my studies, to graduate, to make sure that I am able to give back to my parents even a fraction of what they have given me throughout my entire life. I'm grateful that I still have my parents, that my parents are here, able to see my achievements in person. Because there's so many, like I even saw it at the ring ceremony. There's people that literally said, my parents couldn't even bother to be here. You know, I want you to put that in perspective, guys. I know that it's hard. I know that there's days where it's hard to be grateful. I feel you. I understand you. I'm in your same boat. I want you to understand that. But I want you to also acknowledge that there are many reasons that you should be grateful for your life and be grateful about the things that you have in your life, because there's some things that whether you realize it or not, there's things that you don't have, or put it like this, that you have that somebody else doesn't, and vice versa. That's what you need to really think about and really put into perspective. But I hope this episode was useful. I hope this episode was encouraging. You know, just hearing some of my experiences. You know, I'd love to hear some of your experiences. You can reach out to me on social media, maybe talk, and hey, maybe we can have maybe this sparks a conversation. But I wanted to say thank you guys for your patience. I really appreciate you guys. I love you guys to death. I hope you guys continue to have a wonderful week. I say this, I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving with your families. I hope that, you know, if you go to my school, if you got your senior ring, hey man, congratulations. You know, nothing but the absolute best for you. Like, I hope everyone, for all the Jewish listeners, if you're Jewish, happy Hanukkah. I know Hanukkah started on the 28th of November. To be honest, there's a lot of emotions going through my head, especially after this week. Like, you know, my parents are going home. Basically, the day of this recording, my parents are getting ready to start going home because they leave on Wednesday, December the 1st. But at the end of the day, I'm thankful for all of you guys. I'm grateful for everything that you guys have given me, all the love and the support over these past 2 years. These have been amazing. Again, I'm excited to see where it goes, especially going into the third year of doing this show. I'm very excited to see how everything turns out. I'm grateful for the opportunities that my school has given me. I'm grateful for everything that my family has given me, from love to support, in whether it be financially, emotionally. I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful for all my friends. I'm grateful for, you know, all the things that I've been blessed with that I'm able to have. To be honest, I have so many reasons to be grateful. And this is something, like I said, I'm not going to talk about something if I'm not doing it myself, because that would make me a hypocrite. I'm working on being grateful. I'm practicing it. I'm trying to practice it every single day, guys. And I hope you guys do too. So I hope you guys have yourselves a wonderful week. I hope you guys continue to stay safe. Please continue to be kind and respectful to those around you, because again, the world is still a weird place, everybody. But as always, don't do anything dumb. And I will see you guys next week. I love you guys to death. Bye, guys.
Hey there. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day and listening to today's episode. If you're interested in supporting the show, whether it be financially, clicking the follow button, or just sharing the episode, it all works for me, guys. Thank you guys so much for your time, and I love you guys to death.